What's up? It's Mavo here. Today I want to talk to you about how I shoot my video portraits, from planning over shooting to editing. Let's go!
Little by little you wear me down. Little by little you wear me down. Little by little you wear me.
So let's start with the planning. I gotta say, I don't have a planning receipt which I follow every time. It can start with the track I'm listening to, which inspires me. It can start with the face of a model, which inspires me, or it can start with a location. But what I always do is to write my ideas into my little notebook. I start with the title, maybe working title of the project, and then I write down my first ideas. For example, if I start with the music, I'm writing down the song, and then I'm looking for a location that could fit the vibe of the song, looking for a model which fits into the vibe of the song, and then I just begin to write down shot ideas, begin to write down some ideas what I could do at this specific location, what I could do with a specific model. But let's move on to how I find my models for the shootings. I actually connect with most of my models on Instagram. I just text them, present them my concept, what I want to do. I definitely link some of my videos so they can see what to expect when shooting with me, and it definitely helps to have a portfolio maybe on Instagram or a video already shot which matches what you want to shoot with her. Maybe if you don't have a portfolio and you're just starting, you can start with your friends, shoot your friends, build up some references, and then you can attach these references to your mail to the model. What I do specifically when I'm not in my home country in Germany, for example in Fuerteventura, I just type in hashtags. For example, I typed in hashtag Fuerteventura, and with this hashtag I actually look for photos and people that match the video I want to shoot, and then I just contact them. You definitely cannot expect that everybody's responding you. I definitely text many models before one is replying to me. But yeah, this is a pretty cool technique to find models even when you're not in your home country and you're traveling. I already told you that I'm writing everything down in my little notebook here, and this really helps me to organize my shoot and to stick to my ideas which I came up with. And when I got the model, when I got the track, and when I got a location, I really sometimes just lay in my bed for a couple hours, listen to the track, and imagine the model being at the location. What fits the vibe of the song? Is it an intense song? Should she dance? Should she run around? Should she lay around because the track is calm? I'm always adapting to the mood, to the location, to the music, and what I could add to make it look interesting and to create some variation. Since these portraits have no direct narrative or no story to it, you can build one by shot matching or to connect shots, tell a little story, a little visual story, and that's what I tried to do in the first place. How am I going to start it? Do I have a starting shot? Do I have an end shot? Maybe you can add some elements. It always helps to add some accessoires for some variation, so you're not shooting 100% close-up portrait shots of a model. It's always better for the variation to give her something to work with. And for Winter with Leti, for example, I used this book that she could play with, and we also used this camera from my grandfather, and yeah, that created some variation, and you can choose whatever you want, whatever you think fits the mood, the vibe of the video. In the end of the planning chapter, I really want to say that I'm not always sticking to the plan, I'm not always sticking to my notes. It's good to have them in the first place so you're not running into nothing, but I really like to improvise on the location. I really like to see how is the model acting, what can we get out of the location, how are other settings playing in the game, you know? So I always let a lot of room for spontaneous ideas, for inspiration to come into mind. For example, with the shooting with Raquel, it was not the first intention to shoot with her at the beach. I wanted to go to this kind of hotel building and we wanted to shoot there. But in the end it turned out that it was not really pretty and not a good location to shoot with. But the beach was just next to this building and we decided to shoot there. And it turned out pretty cool. When you meet up with the model, you get to know each other, you have a little small talk. I really like to clarify before we start to shoot how I work. so there is no misunderstanding. I like to be pretty straightforward when giving directions. When I'm in the flow, when I'm shooting, I'm working pretty quick and I like to give pretty straight up directions, but I want to clarify that in the first place so she's not thinking I want to dominate her or some shit. And my experience is that the models really appreciate when I'm straightforward, so we're really efficient. Some really experienced models are really proactive. They know how to act, they know how to move, they know how to present themselves or how to play with the camera. So when I see that a model is really proactive, she knows what she's doing, I really let her do her thing. In my experience, it also helped to have a little speaker box with you, a little Bluetooth speaker, so you can listen to a playlist or some songs while you're shooting. And the music also helps the model to move or even dance while shooting, so she gets more in the mood of the video portrait. Maybe you should choose some songs that fit the final vibe of your video portrait, so her movement to the music fits to the final video. When I'm at the location, I always look for things that we could use, that she could use or lay onto, jump onto, run next to. So really be aware of the location and try to get most out of it. What's really important when shooting video portraits is that the visuals fit to the music. I think it's really important that you cut to the beat or cut off beat if intended. And I think it really makes a video portrait special or outstanding when all these components, music, model and location, just blend in together really well, and also the cuts and the pace of the shots fits to the rest. So as I said, I really like working with movement in my shots. I really like to work with slow motion, but use normal speed shots in combination with slow motion, so you're not bored of the slow motion all the time. And I also really like to use speed ramping to get transitions between the shots or to make things more fluent and to increase the movement. You also have to keep in mind that you're not shooting all the time one aspect ratio. So I always keep in mind when shooting that I'm changing aspect ratios between wide shots, close-ups, so I get a variation between these shots, so I'm not putting close-up shot after close-up shot. And yeah, that's pretty important that you have some variation and you can keep that in mind while shooting. What's also important to take into consideration is that you're matching the movement of the model with the beat. So if the model is moving quick or is dancing, you should match it with the fastest part of the track and not put it into the beginning or the end. Just match the movement of the model with the beat in general. And I think you can just develop this feeling by practicing, and that's how I did it, so you can do too. In the latest video portraits, I really like to use these low shutter transition effects. They really can introduce a new location or blend in shots really nicely. If you want to know how I do these transitions, there is a tutorial coming soon. So these are my insights on how I shoot my video portraits. I hope I could help you out. You learned something new. I hope you enjoyed it. You can follow me on Instagram. I post some behind the scenes stuff over there. See you in the next one. Peace.